I forgot to conclude part three in this series with some of the reflection questions I said I would offer. Again, coming with this book by Dr. Johns Bergma, Bible for Basics for Catholics. So this is an addendum video to part three of our series. So please excuse me. But for your questions and for your discussion at home, if you're with others, your family, or with friends, and some questions for prayer and review on the Noah covenant, the covenant that God made with Noah. Here's some questions for us. Why is it significant that God himself clothed Adam and Eve after the fall? What is the significance about the way he clothed them? I'll just answer that one because that was something that we didn't cover. But Adam and Eve clothed themselves with fig leaves. Okay, I wasn't going to quite do. So God clothed them with loincloths made from skin. And the tradition is that they were made from sheepskin, from the skin of lambs. Okay, so already we're getting this idea that the sacrificial lamb, the lamb had to be sacrificed to make up for the sin of Adam and Eve. All right, so anyway, that question is not for discussion review. I asked it and now just answered it. So if you read this book, you'll catch that detail. Okay. And so think about some of these aspects. Another question, think about some of these aspects and these details of the covenant with Noah. How is the covenant with Noah something of a renewal of the covenant that was made with Adam first? Okay. So how is the Noahic covenant a renewal of the Adamic covenant? Okay. Some other questions. In the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve, the snake cast a doubt on the trustworthiness of God. So for your consideration, can you think of any doubts or lies that the enemy is presenting to you about the Father's love for you and his desire for you to flourish? Okay, so the devil entered the garden, cast seeds of doubt and uncertainty, and as if God is not trustworthy. How does Satan play those same nasty tricks on us? Okay, and lastly, what are your observations on today's breaking away from God's plan for marriage and its effect on society? All right, some aspects of Adam and Eve, a breakdown in marriage is they didn't trust each other. They blamed each other. Okay, and so that was like the seed of the beginning. And as you read Genesis chapter 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, leading up to Noah, there's marriage as we know it is not quite, what God had imagined in the beginning, including the beginnings of polygamy or multiple partners in one kind of, marriage relationship. All right. So what are the observations on today's breaking away from God's plan for marriage and its effect on society? How's the breakdown on the marriage and the family unit affecting society? Which does have to do with why the first covenant was broken and why the next covenant, the evolved covenant, had to be forged. Okay, so that concludes this addendum to our third video for the series on covenants. So again, please join me next time as our next covenant we consider the covenant made with Abraham. And please stay tuned. We will see you then, and God bless.